All right, so I'm sure for anyone who's joined a webinar, you know the drill. We'll give it a couple minutes here, but feel free to use the chat function. Tell us where you're from, where are you dialing in from, share your social handle so that we can all follow one another and start to network. Very good. Maryland, Scott's in San Antonio. We'll have lots of different time zones joining today. Oh, Zulian, Bay Area. We love to see that. Maybe you'll see some familiar faces today. Florida, LA. What did I say? Apparently we do know, we know Zulian. Awesome. All right, I still see the names ticking up here, so we'll give it just a second. All right, well, I have two after, so let's go ahead and get rolling here. Thank you everyone for spending some time with us today. Welcome to the first Radius Agent event of 2021. We have a really exciting and equally important topic today, and that's a personal brand. So before we get into the panel, introductions. My name is Kaylee, and I'm the Agent Partnership Manager with Radius Agent. And I want to share with you just a little bit of background on Radius before we introduce our panels. It all started back in 2015 with the community for agents to network and connect. Over the last 5 to 6 years, we've really evolved and we've been adding in features and products based on agents' feedback. So we're really learning and understanding what is most valuable and relevant in terms of tools, which led us to introduce the referral marketplace. So now on Radius Agent, not only can you network with your colleagues nationwide, you can exchange referrals on a marketplace. And we later introduce Radius Assist, which is our lead qualifying product. So our Denver-based ISA team will reach out to your online leads on your behalf and qualify them for you. So just creating some efficiencies for you. And the reason that we're all on the call together today is Radius Agent Realty. That is our virtual tech-forward brokerage. We officially opened the doors in the summer of last year, but we are serving Colorado and California markets currently. We do have plans on expanding to Washington, Texas, and Florida. So anyone on the call who is part of one of those 5 markets, we would love to connect with you after the webinar. Let's talk one-on-one about you and your business, your goals for 2021, and talk about how Radius Agent Realty can help impact those. So that's a little bit of background on Radius and our brokerage. Let's move on to our introduction. So Michael, I will pass it over to you. You've got quite the resume here. Let's have you tell everyone a little bit about yourself.
Boom, I'm here, guys.
Hey there.
Good morning.
Hello.
How is everyone today? Thank you everyone for joining in today. My name is Michael Bardalis. I am the Executive Director for Broker Expansion with Radius Agent Realty. But a bit about myself, I am also a Bay Area native. I've been living in the Bay Area since 1979. So born in the Mission District, was raised in Pittsburgh, California, and I currently live in Oakland, California right now. Also, I was a Navy veteran, so I sailed the 7 seas, was out there and had some good times there. Also in my career, I was able to own my own brokerage. I started a franchise and recently was a team leader with Compass at East Bay Group. And now also my Naret Familia, I'm the president of the local chapter here in the East Bay, San Ramon Valley. And last but not least, I am also the co-host of What's Up Real Estate podcast. And today I'm fortunate to be here with you guys because I'm super, super excited that this month is actually my 17th year in real estate. And when I was thinking about branding today, I was just thinking to myself, like, okay, I kind of represented a few brands, but at the same time, I don't think I've ever changed my identity. So a brand is something that we come up with, but who we are is who we are. So I kind of want to talk a little bit about what I did, right? So when I first got into real estate, I got into real estate in 2012. I was a lender prior to that. I was an in-house lender for Better Homes and Garden. I saw what realtors were making and I said, hey, why not switch up? So I switched the game up and I decided to kind of just start my own brokerage. I didn't want to go to these big boxes. So I wanted to come up with my own identity. At that time, I heard a Michael Jordan quote that says, don't worry about the brand, worry about the game, the brand will come. So in that case, I was like, well, cool. Let me just play with some names or whatnot. So the name that I came up with was called Total Real Estate. And it literally was spelled Tohtal. And it was so funny because a lot of people are like, well, what's the purpose of that, Mike? Like, why did you come up with that? Is it because you're Hispanic? Why the H? And I said to myself, because I own the company and I can, that's it. And I think that was the concept of me going into real estate was like, look, I want to get paid not only on my deals, but on every deal. So my brand was company brand first. Being able to be a manager, a team leader, an owner of a company, I'm able to get paid on every single deal. So that's the route I chose. And that's the route I chose in real estate. And all of us have that. But first, I had to learn to become a realtor. And this is where it came. After I put this brand up to all these other ones, I was like, yo, my logo needs some help. So I kind of went off and talked to my graphic designer, and we came up with this logo here, Total Real Estate. Again, this is 2014, guys. So of course it's going to look a little bit pixeled and whatnot, but this is something that I said, okay, I have a brand, but let's make that brand a bit better. At this time, I was the owner of this company and I was doing really well. But then the agents in my company started actually doing well too. In particular, Chris Strange, who's my business partner, was doing really, really well and he got recruited. So I was going to let this guy go. He was like my number one guy. So we changed that brand and we actually became, and we killed it. So as you see here, everyone at Total Real Estate died. It was so cool because we have a brewery next door to us. And when we actually didn't have Total Real Estate, they actually created this for us for Halloween. So again, if you think about it, back in 2012, I thought of my brand. 2014, I created a better brand with a better name, and then I killed it. And the reason I killed it was because, everyone says life's a marathon. I believe it's a relay. So for one accomplishment to the next, we have to, grow. And this is what we became. We became what's called East Bay Group. And East Bay Group was a name for quite some time here in the Bay Area. We had some solid teams. We had some great team members that joined us. We had some great team members that left and created their own teams. So we're super, super proud of that brand. But then come 2020, a new identity came, and that's when I stepped into a new executive position here at Radius Agent Realty. So, you guys, brands change. You won't. What I believe is that you're going to find your identity somewhere. Once you do that, you're going to build off it. Once you do that, you may kill it, and then you may resurrect it, and then you might change it as well. So that's a little bit about that, right? So today, it's all about branding, and we want to talk a little bit about sort of our mindset with that. What I love about this platform here is that we're here with a lot of different people, with a lot of different companies, and that's what we want. So let's make this interactive, share some ideas, share some points. I think people from Keller has great ideas, EXP, Coldwell, the mom and pops here in Florida or whatnot. So I'd love to hear all that. But today we're going to be sharing perceptions, right? That's exactly what we're going to be talking about, because sometimes the brand is a perception, right? Like when you look at Pepsi or you look at Gucci or whatever the case may be, you already see that that has a sort of perception. But also in regards to that, especially as realtors, we got to bring our value and we got to bring our experience. And that's super, super important to building a brand. But also too, once we have our perception, once we have our value and experience, now let's make it look good, right? Or make it look sexy, whatever the case may be. So that's when we work with graphic designers to figure out, okay, I know who I am. I know my identity. Now let's make it look cool. And then also too, like I shared with you guys before, like, how do you stand out in this noise? There's so many companies out there. And then within the company, there's so many different teams and there's so many different agents and so many different whatever. Everyone's jumping into real estate right now. That's just what happens when the market is hot, right? People come to real estate and want to do that. But what I would tell you is that in regards to that, your real estate knowledge will actually take you through all these brands as well. So I'm happy that like I became a realtor and owner of a company. a team leader, and now an executive. And I believe that's what branding should do. It's just standing outside from that noise. And lastly, search you. Where are you? Now that you have this brand, now that you have this voice, how can people find you, right? That's the other part of it. So it's all an evolution, you guys. It's all like I said, it's a relay. So from one step to the next, so on and so forth. So I would like to bring on Angelica. Angelica, you there? Are you having the same issues I did? There you are. Hey, Angelica.
Hi.
Yeah, that was a lot, huh? I just came out like super fiery. I think it's the
Yeah,
coffee.
no, it was great.
I think it was the coffee, man.
And thank you so much for having me on. I
Mhm.
mean, it's so much gratitude, and I am so thankful, and it's a pleasure to be here. Just to give you a background about myself, I am 2 years into the real estate game, and it's been phenomenal. I want to do say there has been, the obvious elephant in the room, COVID. So my time in real estate has been far from perfect. But I have different sectors of real estate as well. I mean, I've been in the business for 7 years. I have a background in commercial real estate, in property management, in leasing, home builders. I worked with the home builder, KB Homes, as well as redevelopment and construction. So I definitely have dived into the real estate world. I love helping people. That's what it's all about. And just the education is really important for me. I am also a co host with Michael on What's Up Real Estate. And it's been awesome just because community is very important to me. And it highlights a lot of people in the community, not just realtors, but also businesses and people who also want to make an impact as leaders. So it's been a pleasure being a co-host with him. And then I'm also part of NARP San Ramon Valley as well. And so it's been really exciting during this time. I've been able to network virtually. So it's been a pleasure. And then also, I do have a background in education. I got my BA at Cal State East Bay, and then I also went to San Jose State for urban planning. So a lot of different moving parts. I'm super happy to be here again. And Radius has done a fantastic job putting this together. So kudos to you guys.
Awesome. Well, let's talk a little bit about that. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we do a lot of things together. And again, when are talking about you and saying, okay, who you want to be in real estate, right? So that's what you've done. Let's talk a little bit about who you are here, right? So the cool thing about like the name, the Soul Realtors, that I remember you and I had this conversation, and you kind of tossed out a few names, right? Do you remember those names?
I don't, but it was definitely a process. Like I am a
Right.
thinker and I try to be very strategic with like what I put out there in the universe. And that was one of the things, like I like wrote down different like hashtags. I wrote down different things in regards to like this social media world. And what's important that, you expressed earlier in the conversation was, um, like one, the importance of perception, and then also two, it's a lifestyle. Like I'm more than a realtor. So I've had corporate jobs in the past where like you couldn't have tattoos or you couldn't have piercings, or my hair, like I love doing things with my hair. And so becoming a realtor, I was my own boss in a way, and I was able to, be who I am and shine the light of who I really am. And so I think that with the Soul Realtor, I, I'm able to have this light. So
Right. I remember you telling me, Michael, I want to be my true authentic self. That's really what you did that. And as we take a look at sort of a small snapshot of your grid here, I see you, the Soul Realtor, doing the yoga portion here. One of your sales as well. I take it that's your boyfriend and your stepson or whatnot, and a book you read. So this right here was something that we kind of just dove into, right? So you want to make sure that you express that you're Bay. we love that, right? The Bay itself is a brand, and saying we're from the Bay, just already people know what that means, right? Yoga, tea, book, so on and so forth. So great. So we see all this stuff here, right? And you wanted to make sure that we highlighted that, right? That process. But so talk to us. Did you have a logo at that time? Like how did you come about like doing that part?
yeah, so thanks for sharing that. So like I said, it's more than being just a realtor, it's a lifestyle. And so you want people to know who you are and not just the sales that you have. Like that's, they want to see into your life. So that's what I think is very important. And then also what you asked, I mean, it's really, it's really great that Radius gave me the opportunity to like work as partners as branding, because I never had that. So I didn't have a branding. Like I wasn't like, oh, okay. Like I didn't think about that. Like it kind of just like came organically. And then Radius was like, oh, okay, like, we'll help you out. And I appreciated that. And so it really was great that the onboarding process was, uh, I found it very valuable just because it wasn't something that I had to ask for. It was something that they just, committed themselves to do.
Right. And the good thing about it is that this is yours though. You know what I mean? It's not like, hey, this is ours. This is, once we created that, you can't take that with you. This is definitely who you are and so on and so forth. And like you said, this is like those steps that we've been through. And I think a lot of people go through. And I think you guys, when you look at branding, these are like sort of just graphic based template type stuff here, right? Meaning the categories itself, right? One, it's identity development. Regardless if it's Radius, regardless of where you're at, this is how you brand. This is how you find your brand, right? And we talked about that. So you just showed us who you are and what you do, so on and so forth. But at the same time, now, like, who are you as a person, right? So we had to take that. So these are sort of the concepts we came up with you, right? We kind of said, okay, these are soft backgrounds, but still the city girl. But at the same time, let's get this naturalness of earthing and so on and so forth. And then font recognition. I mean, like, if we go back to this slide here, I mean, look at all these different fonts. It's crazy, right? And you have to go through that process, but people know like that's a Grub font, that's a Sotheby's font, that's a Prudential. Look at this is before Compass and EXP and all this. This is was like the pillars of the real estate then. But that's what we came up with, right? We worked with you. Do you like this font? Do you like that? And then logo selection. I think that's super important too, right? And then when you put all these together, here comes your brand right here. Angelica, the Soul Realtor.
I know. And I must say too, like, I'm not a marketing person. So like the background scenes, like this is amazing. Like,
right.
And I didn't see all of this development.
It's super new nowadays, the way they go about this. I had this questionnaire about another branding thing that we had to go through with East Bay Group. And it was kind of like, do you like this watch? Do you like that watch? Do you like these shoes? Do you like those shoes? And, pick 10 names from here. And then boom, all of a sudden, 2 weeks later, graphic designer had all these different logos. So yeah, I mean, this is the process regardless of what we're going to go through, be it Radius or whatnot, but we just know that at the gates, you know what I mean? We just know that you need an identity, you need your own thing, right? So here, another thing about not only the logo part, but it's also the video part, right? So I know you definitely want to get out there and do video. I know everyone is doing video right now. But at the same time, there was a little bit of fear, right? A little bit of an anxiety behind all that, right? So once we understood, okay, this is, what you do, this is who you are. Now, this is the Soul Realtor logo. Now let's tell people. But tell us too about the process. Was it scary?
It was a little scary. I'm not going to lie. Just because, with the podcast, I'm so used to just being, the voice, but
yeah, you're
in video,
you're used to wearing pajamas all the time.
No, not even. But I definitely, being in front of camera, it takes, effort and time, and just like, it's the whole process of being prepared. But yeah, like with this video, this was one of my clients that I helped buy a home. And so that was also not necessarily an effort, but I wanted to make sure like he was, also okay with being on the video. And we had to reschedule like once just because something came up, life. So yeah, it was a pleasure doing this. And this is also something that Radius has been, fortunate to provide to their real estate agents. And I took I went ahead and went for it. Like I took advantage of the opportunity and I made this video. So it was great.
All right, well, let's take a look at it. I think a lot of people have these videos. If you guys don't have a video, we encourage you guys to get one. It's super important. We get leads. A lot of us get leads in different areas. And after that phone call, think about that. You follow up with the lead and you say, hey, thank you so much for, taking that call. I look forward to your appointment. Also, here's some reviews about myself. And here's a little video about me. And I would love for you guys to watch it. So let's watch your video real quick. So I was told no one could hear the video. So I apologize for that, but I'll definitely work on the next one for it. But I mean, definitely, Angelica, you still there?
Yes, I'm here.
So again, so walk through this video with us while I figure out the sound, but tell us who this was, why you did this video and what about it that stood out to you.
Well, I mean, like I mentioned, it was a client of mine that I helped purchase a home. And I think it was important for my branding specifically because it helped basically show you who I was and um, how I helped this person purchase a home in the process. Like it's the reality of real estate. It's not like cookie cutter or anything like that, but it was, someone generally wanting to showcase what I did for them. And that's the importance of, branding as well. So, like Michael said, like I can easily add this to my website, or I could easily show this to my current clients or future clients. So it's something that you can take with you and, definitely use in a future moment.
Awesome. Well, let's take a look at it.
My name is Angelica Ojeda, and I am the sole realtor, and I am a native here in the Bay Area. I enjoy connecting with people. That is my passion, and I love to make sure that people feel welcomed or they feel some type of light, hence my social media name, which is a sole realtor. Also, too, with real estate, it's important for people to be treated as if they were your family. It's very important to me to have that, and there are people who I still connect with even after the process of buying a home is done. Just being there for them, because it is an emotional process. You have to be there answering the phones if it's really late or really early in the morning.
Angelica is awesome. When it comes to home buying or selling, it's stressful. At times, I was kind of giving up hope of finding the perfect home, but she kind of made it a lot easier for me. She's always making sure that you're her #1 priority. So I definitely think that she treated her clients like family.
What I enjoy most is seeing a smile on their face, seeing a smile on their kids' face when they open the door to their new home. So yeah, it's been really a blessing, and I'm really grateful to be in this business.
Okay. So realtor. That was really good. That was really good.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and oops, I'm over here messing up. No, that was really good video. And I encourage everyone to have a video like that. The reason I like the fact that you can bring a client into your video is kind of now taking your perspective. There's also a lot of videos that we can talk about ourselves. I think with realtors, we have a lot of things to talk about ourselves, right? But, get a client in that video with you guys. Get someone else that's explaining to them what they did for you, because in there, you're figuring out your identity, your brand, but also it's a confirmation from a third party, such as a client, to show that you are also that person that they have, right? So again, merch is super important. Having your name on your for sale sign is going to help with your guys' branding. Having your name on a business card, and again, different merch. I'd love to see some Soul Realtor t-shirts out. All right, awesome. Well, I'm going to bring on another gal. Now, I'm bringing on Miss Latashia Perry. So with Latashia, are you there, ma'am? So Latashia is a little bit more seasoned. She's been in the game for a minute, right? So with her, it wasn't so much about the brand. It was more about just creating more of that brand and making some twists. So Latashia, how are you?
Hi, Mike. How are you? Hello,
I'm
everyone.
good. Good morning. Good morning. Tell everyone who you are.
So I am Latashia Perry, aka the Real Estate Advocates. So I've been in real estate actually since a child. I've been around real estate. My father was an investor, but I've had my license for 3.5 years now. I am a local native from Oakland, born and raised, and I'm pretty much based out of Oakland in terms of my business. Um, I am a mother of 3, proud super mom. And so again, talking about me being in real estate as a child, loved it, always loved homes. And so I actually got into it a little bit, as I gotten a little bit older, and I've been seasoned with corporate. And so I gotten, to start, I pretty much started to be a people's person, right? Doing customer service and sales. And I figured since I already love real estate, I have the people skills, let me get into real estate. So originally I wanted to get into it to help my community and my friends and family, and just pretty much educate everybody on what to do and how to get into real estate. And so I figured, why not be the real estate advocate? I want to be that go-to person, not necessarily everywhere, but really initially just for my friends and family. If they had any questions, concerns, just come to me. So
Yep.
I'm the advocate. And naturally, I am, advocate for what's right in life. So real estate advocate.
Love it, love it. And when we met, I remember us having a conversation, you told me it was okay to bring it up, but like kind of almost having like knowing you're a realtor, but trying to find your identity with that, right? So I know at times, when we first start, it's the excitement of joining teams, excitement of joining someone else that partners with you. But sometimes in the beginning, it's a little confusion in our identity, right? It's like, do we become what that team wants us to be? Am I like helping that person's business? So, tell us a little bit about that, and, you trying to figure out like what was best for Tasha.
That's a great point, Mike, because you're right. As a new realtor, I was just initially just trying to be the company's brand, right? And that's not a bad thing at all. But what I really like about Radius is that not only, of course, we're Radius, but Radius is really open about you being your own personal brand and still being uniform or Radius. I love, love, love that about them. Because I come out as the real estate advocate, Latashia Perry, stamped with Radius, of course, but I love that. And yes, of course, Mike, it's hard to find your identity because, your brand is what markets you, and your brand is the front line of your business. So, 9 times out of 10, you want people, your prospects, to know who you are, who they're going to work with. So yeah.
Yeah, I always said that, I love the Berry Gordy approach, a Motown brand, right? But within that brand, Motown's is a genre now. That was actually a brand name, but it became so dope that it was a genre, right? But
Right.
however, in regards to that, there's just own people in that brand. There's the Temptations, there's Diana Ross, there's the Jackson
Right.
5, there's so on and so forth. But that sound is Motown. And I think that's exactly what you're talking about here. So when you came to me, we were talking about this, and we're at Paulista's or whatnot, you're like, yeah, I want to be Tasha. I'm like, girl, you are from Oakland. You raised your kids in Oakland. You were raised in Oakland. You got to see Oakland real estate back in the days. Like that right there in itself is powerful, because there is a lot of people selling Bay real estate. There's a lot of people selling Oakland real estate, but they're not from Oakland like you are. You know what I mean? So talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, that's great because, coming from Oakland, it is something to be proud of, and yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, when I've been with a couple of different brokers, and I couldn't really see myself standing out as Tasha from Oakland. Or you're right, you see East Bay agent or Dub agent, or just different things to represent the Bay Area and Oakland. But what's behind that name, right? And so when you have that brand, you have the name, and then you actually have someone from from Oakland or from the Bay Area that's local, that speaks volumes, and so that's what I really wanted to be. And again, I appreciate Radius for allowing me to stand out as Latashia from Oakland, a Bay Area agent. So I really appreciate that. And it's hard, and it takes some time and it takes some effort. You really got to be out in the streets and in the neighborhood to represent being from there. So
And then also too, I mean, look at your name here. You're the key giver. I love that. The key giver, the leasing, the commercial investing. I mean, that's not residential, right? I mean, that's I think the key giver can go both, but I see there's a desire for commercial here, right?
mm-hmm. Yeah, so I've been a little bit of a jack of all trades. Initially getting into real estate, I was residential. I am residential, but doing leasing, commercial. And so I also recommend that a lot of agents diversify, being in real estate and just testing the waters with everything. And so I'm open to it. And so that's why when I brand myself, this is what I do. I do leasing. So key giver, that's giving keys to leasing, commercial, investing, your first time home buyer. So that's my brand. And I'm advocating for that.
Yep. And like I said, we talked about it before. You came with the logo, right?
I did.
You're like, yo, this is my thing here. So this is it. So tell us about your process with your logo and what you went through with your own designer.
So what I was trying to do was, again, stand out. And I want to piggyback off what you said, Mike, is, since your brand is marketing you and you have a bunch of noise and it's just kind of like a congested, real estate is congested. So you have to stand out from the crowd. And I was thinking, okay, so if I want to be the real estate advocate, I need to just start from scratch. I want to be Latashia. I don't necessarily want to, be whichever company that I'm with. And so I dig deep and I just did some research, and I really wanted to be uniform with colors, fonts. And as you can see, so you have the black and white logo. And then if you look at my IG, I'm just uniform and I'm consistent with the black and whites. And then, for instance, freedom lies in being bold. That's me. That's how I feel. Heads up, you're gorgeous, right? So that's a part of me too, along with just some pictures of, some fantasy places or some vacation places that I would like to go to. So yeah, I just wanted to dig deep and really just show the world who I was. And I thank Radius for allowing me to bring me into the table in terms of my brand.
Yeah, and it's great. I mean, look at all these things. Freedom looks like a vision board right here. So it's really, really cool to see that freedom lies in the bold, hustle and grow, heads up, gorgeous, inhale confidence, exhale doubt. Got the real estate 101 here. So that's really awesome here. And let's go in, Tasha, and talk a little bit about your video as well. So video is important, right? And we all want to do it and we all desire it. But tell us a little bit about your process and a little bit about the video thing that you did here.
So with my video, what I was, my vision was to show the world how I hold my clients' hands. And so it was a little bit nerve-wracking, but the person that I used in my video, I think she was nervous too. So she was cracking a bunch of jokes, but we had a really good time. But again, the vision, and once you play the video, you'll see that I'm just trying to show people I really like to hold my client's hand, walk them through everything. It's not only about opening up doors and showing clients the home. It's about showing them the location. It's about showing them, what this home would look like for them and making them feel comfortable so they can trust me pretty much.
Awesome. So this is Latasha's video.
I'm Latashia Perry. I am an Oakland native, born and raised in the East Bay. I'm a versatile agent, so I will go anywhere from Oakland to Sacramento to Stockton to Richmond. I actually got into real estate as a child, and so I always had a passion for neighborhoods and gorgeous homes. What my clients love about me is that I go the extra mile from the beginning to during the process and a year after they purchase their first home. My clients love the fact that I'm family oriented. I dig deeper into understanding the true purpose of why my client is purchasing their home. I build a rapport. I build the trust and understand that I need to find a right fit for them. So it's not just the home, it's about the community, it's about safety, it's about the school district, and most importantly, it's about their family.
Yeah, and that was really cool, Tasha. I mean, like, with Angelica, she used more of a different approach in the video. You used more of a who I am approach, and she used like a client-based approach. I think both of these approaches worked well for you guys, and then same thing here, like, you're the forefront of what you do here and stuff. But yeah, so that video, was that one of your clients?
Something like that, yeah.
I'm setting you up. We got to know, who was it?
That was my mom.
See, I wanted you to say that, because at the same time, we can use our family as support. You know what I mean? That's a great thing. You just said family oriented, right? You said that in your video, and your mom's in your video. So you're not
Yes.
saying it, you're actually doing it. So that's a really, really good thing here. So I really appreciate you sharing that. So yeah, what we want to do is a branding audit. That's something we want to offer here. Kaylee, who was on earlier, reach out to her if you guys have any questions. We're all here to collaborate. You know, I mean, definitely this is a Radius Agent Realty presentation. This is what we do, but at the same time we collab. The good thing about these events and everything, every time we do these events, I talk to a bunch of people that come from LA, come from different states, and it's a collab mindset. You know, the one commonality I believe we all have is that we're realtors, regardless of what state, regardless of what company we are. So knowing that we're good people, that's who we are as people. What we do as realtors, we should be able to like collab with each other no matter what company we're a part of, right? So we chose to be with Radius, you chose to be with them, but at the same time, we're definitely here to help each other. Follow us. Damn, my picture is pixel, so I need a new headshot, guys. But follow us, please. You know, reach out to us. Any questions you have to myself, to Miss Soul Realtor, to the Real Estate Advocate, and Angelica, you know, would love for you to say something to the audience about reaching out to you.
Yeah, I mean, my hashtags there, or my where to find me on Instagram is there. I mean, you can also find me on LinkedIn and on Facebook, all that good stuff. But the important piece here though is I love to network with people all over the states. So, I mean, that's what I was excited for. Me and Tasha know each other on a personal level too. So like we always like to find new ways to network with people. So yeah, don't be shy. Hit us up, reach out. We'd love to help any way we can. If you know anyone coming from or moving to California, that would be great too, and vice versa.
And the podcast. Don't forget about the podcast.
Oh yeah, the podcast too. I know. What's Up Real Estate? You can find us on all platforms. If you have questions or if you'd love to be on, we can connect. All that good stuff.
Awesome, Tasha.
Yeah, so hey everyone. If there's anyone that wants to connect and also want, either one of us to look at your brand and to help you, and also if you want to get any type of, advice from us at Radius, we're here to help. And yeah, I mean, Cali, anybody want to come to Cali? Anybody want to network with any one of us? We're more than happy to touch bases with you guys. But yeah, Radius is awesome. As you can see from our branding and marketing, and you can be you, so yeah, kudos.
Definitely. And then again, myself, Latinx exec, reach out to me. Love to talk with you guys. I was fortunate to get on this event in Rent Spree. So I'm meeting some LA agents when I'm in LA this week. So it's going to be really cool to collab with them and just, share different mindsets. Also, you guys, we do this every Tuesday now. Okay. So come out next week. It's just a Radius event. So this week was a little bit about our company and what we're about. Next week, we're bringing Marissa Boyle, who's a sales coach. We're talking about getting mentally organized, brain dumping, calendar, and time blocking. Super, super important that all happens. So that's going to happen next week, February 16th. No, I'm sorry, isn't the week after next. I apologize. And then on February 25th, you guys, Radius and NAREP San Ramon Valley has collaborated together to do a half-day event where we're going to have 5 45-minute breakout sessions talking about diversity in real estate, how to sell 100 homes, so on and so forth. So we're getting with people nationwide as well. We have some top 250 NAREP individuals that are going to speak. We have some coaches that are going to come speak. So it's going to be a really, really cool event. And at the end, we're going to do a little bit of networking as well. This is a free event on February 25th. It's going to start at 9 o'clock. And then we'll have a 45-minute session, 15-minute break, and also another 45-minute session. Us as NAREP San Ramon Valley and Radius, we're using that platform to honor African American History Month. So a lot of these panelists are going to be from the Black and Brown community, Afro Latinx, so on and so forth, because we believe it's important. So we've taken the steps to actually honor those for Black History Month in regards to our next event as well. So Kaylee, hi.
I'm back.
How are you? How was it?
Good. I'm liking what I'm hearing, and we have some questions coming through. So you guys can kind of take this. I don't know if there's one of you that wants to speak on this specifically, but what advice would you give to someone who maybe they've been in the industry for a while and they've been successful, but their personal brand has maybe been wrapped up in what we might call like corporate branding, right? So they're with a brokerage where they have their name out there, but they don't feel that their brand is unique or personal to them. What advice would you give them to either look somewhere else? Like, what's the first step, or what should they be thinking about?
I like that question for Tasha. Tasha, you mind answering that?
Yes. So I was just thinking. So normally, what we don't want to do is to let our online presence take a life of its own. We want to take control and pretty much direct the narrative, right? So the good thing is that you've been in the business for a long time, so you have that pipeline. You have your, your clients just sitting there waiting for you, pretty much. But I would just revamp your online presence. Google yourself, see what comes up. And from there, just tackle everything. You want to have everything uniformed. You also want to revamp your social media as well. Social media is king right now. So that's, pretty much it. You already have the business. It's just revamping your online presence. And then that was speaking volumes for you.
Awesome. What do you got next?
There were a couple questions that came up as far as what Radius can offer. So you guys did a really good job of showing like your social and the videos and actually establishing a logo. So Michael, can you share what's included? So if you are an agent joining Radius Agent Realty, what can you expect in terms of onboarding and continued support when it comes to personal brand?
Yeah, I think coming to the company, that was the first thing that we brought up is oh, we're going to brand our agents. Well, what does that truly mean? We need to, get them their logo. We need to do all that. So yeah, what we've done is we created about 10 to 15 template logos that people can just play off of, along with bringing in their logos to get revamped. So one or the other is going to happen because we believe it's the same thing. And the reason being, when it comes to branding is that when we think of let's just take Pepsi, for example, be it diet Pepsi, caffeine free, so on and so forth, it's Pepsi. So I think it's the same concept here. It's yes, we want to have you be that diet Pepsi of Radius, but at the same time, the brand itself is really cool when we come together, right? So in regards to that, we're taking your identity, aligning it correctly, and helping you with that, as well as doing video. These videos were done for free for these ladies, and that's something that we're investing in. So those are different ways that we come about it. So definitely the onboarding part, as far as coming on board, is a process, but also there's a marketing part to it, and we have some great people behind it.
Cool. Yeah, we spend this time helping you to establish, or in Latashia's case, really adopt what she had created. And so it's good for everyone that we can kind of push it out in all different channels. Just one last question here. I wanted to clarify for folks. So glad to see we've got attendees across the US. And like I said, we are currently licensed in Colorado and California. Washington, Texas, and Florida are our next 3 markets. So I've seen some messages come through the chat. If you are in one of those 3 states where we are not quite yet, let's talk. Toya, yes, I spoke with her yesterday. She hopefully is going to be one of our Florida agents. So let's connect, whether or not you're in Colorado, California, Washington, Texas, or Florida, and we can talk a little bit more about a future partnership. And then Michael, where can people reach you to talk more about these pillars?
Man, I put my cell phone number there. Go ahead and give me a shout, shoot me a text, have a conversation. I think that's all starts with it. Like I said, definitely for us, we know anything you guys want to talk about. I'm really that guy, I'm really that guy to talk real estate talk. I'm really that guy that really wants to help, and so on and so forth. And if Radius is something you want to talk about, I would love to have that conversation. But if it's not, and there's just real estate you want to talk about, let's do that too. For me, like I said, we have this podcast that's really cool. We do a lot of different events. So just collaborating with people, I think, is what I'm looking for as well. So is the panelists. So definitely come out with us. And, one last Radius pitch, and I want to just talk about is that these are our pillars here. These are the things we focus on when we talk about our agents. As you see, branding is important. That's the first thing that is in our pillar. Giving you guys correct marketing, giving you guys the correct leads, giving you guys correct assets, support, and technology. I think we've done our best to ensure that although we are a flat fee model, and that concept sometimes is you're going to lose quality, you're going to lose support, you're going to lose that. I think if anything, we're just enhancing it. You know, we're giving it back to the realtor and we're keeping it real estate, you know, and that's really what this is about, you know. And once you get back to that, things become a lot more simpler. You know, sometimes when you're chasing something that may not be there and you have to earn those things, that's fine. Don't get me wrong. But you're a realtor. This is real estate. Let's talk about that. So I welcome you guys to reach out to us. You know, like I said, these events here, it's going to be fire. So yeah, I love today's topic. I thank you ladies for joining us. And I really, really hope you guys had a good time learning some things.
And I included my calendar link for anyone. So again, no commitment. It's free to anyone. Book time with me. We'll do the branding audit and just kind of feel it out, see where we are, see how Radius Agent Realty can help, and we'll take it from there.
All right, you guys, peace, love, and real estate. Have a wonderful day.
Bye.
Thanks, everyone.
See ya.